Hey guys, welcome back to a new video. Sorry for the long delay. Yeah, sorry. Didn't realize it's not November. Because Wellington sucks, so I'm gonna Apple Pin John Hot's base, so I can afford to get out of a shit country. But, yeah. Enough about my life, I'm not going to be like your average Green Party supporter that, puts their life as the center of its attention. You know, they can't really deny it. Okay, back to the video. So, what happened at the Freedom March? Well, I was a bit of a dimwit and forgot to bring my phone, so, apologies for that. Yeah, how I was about to type on Instagram is basically because I was using my computer like I usually do, which is why you seriously shouldn't call me in a protest as well, not looking at any particular person who decided to do that. I think they know who they are. Okay, well, give you a hint. Not the best reputation on Zulu. Footballer, I think you know who that is. But anyway, I'm at that job, so I'm not the completely trash people that I used to. I'm just no trash like politicians, because who likes politicians anyway? Am I right? Yeah. Okay, well, no, I don't. I like New Conservatives and like some national members, but all the rest are just so bad. Like, they're just trash. But anyway, back to the video after that prep. So, what happened? Well, basically, I was at sit spell at 9:40 in the morning. I was, casually waiting for the protest to start. Chatted to a couple people. Yeah, did that type of prep. Wait. Till like 11. Because I filmed a bit of a Dumbo and then thought it was at 10, so I was... Okay, well, so at 10 slot I did a bunch of, I started rounding up the proud speeches. Yeah. No, I'm not in the Destiny Church, so if there's any, people that do that protest in Destiny Church, I was brought up Roman Catholic. I still am, but I'm probably going to convert Judaism when I move to Israel. But, technically, since I'm not baptized in any other church, yeah, I'm Roman Catholic. So, yeah, and I'm never going to join Destiny Church, so I just support the whole, stop the government movement, because, I don't like the government. Most people know that I am not a Labour supporter. I know. Mind-blowing. Okay, so why did I go? Well, I don't like the government, and I like protests that stand for workers' rights. Why do I like things that stand for workers' rights? Because moi has coal miners in my family. Now, if you know anything about the coal industry, yeah, my family did go to 1981 coal strike. It has Margaret Thatcher, but, that's why I'm not a party supporter, because, David Seymour was basically young Margaret Thatcher instead of male, and just like 8% Maori, but he's basically a young Margaret Thatcher. And I do not like Margaret Thatcher like conservatives. They're not my favorite group of people. Obviously, I like more of a Maxime Bernier type of guy, Trump dude, all of those good white-wing nationalist people, yeah. Okay, anyway, back to the video. So, yeah, that's why I went to it. Because, my family's in Northeast England, and, well, at least one of my grandparents was. So, if you know Northeast England, it's not the most well-off area. Bet you most people could agree with that. Probably my family from Bishop Auckland that's watching this video could probably agree with that, and Shelby, Yorkshire, probably could agree with that. Most people in the Northeast would probably agree with that, yeah. So, anyway, back to the protest. So, basically, The charts they did, I agree with a lot of them, like Labour Liars. That was really fun shouting as loud as I could. Yeah, I wasn't at the front because I don't have a flag. Mostly because, like, I went to train, like, 7 o'clock. Because I might have been a bit of a dummy and decided to do really early, thinking it was, like, hour later than it was. But, you know, typical me. Wakes up too early and, oh, I have to go train, go to protest. Okay, bye, people. And then I go to protest and realize that you were there 3 hours early, 2 hours and a half early, and you basically sit there with all of the guys who were there early. Nothing really happened in that 3 hours except for me walking around circles around Civic Square, chatting to a couple dudes about why Labour sucked. That's about it. They're nice people. Okay, so back to the protest. So basically we had a massive rowdy thing. Then they did a couple of, cool inspiring speeches. If you want to know more, just watch the live stream. I mean, it's that difficult to watch a 4 hour... Look, I'm not going to try and summarize 4 hours into 4 hour video, because, well, that would suck for most people, and most people don't have a very large concentration span who my viewers, because they're younger, and they just want to get straight into it. So I'll just try to get straight into it. So, basically, there's a bunch of, we had anatometry and bioanatometry. Now, I am not a Destiny Church person, nor do I. Well, as you know, I am not Protestant, and I never will be. So, I don't really endorse Pentecostalism. Yeah. But they're kind of like, how should I put it? Televangelists in New Zealand, they're a bit controversial. Just trying to look, I don't have enough time to get into it, but I'm not personally the biggest fan of him, because I'm not, unlike what many people think, I do not have every fringe opinion in the planet. I know it's very shocking, very shocking, mind-blowing. Anyway, back to the doodle video. So, basically, yeah, I went to the, after that, we just kind of said, Labour liars, it's under our doing to go to jail. I mean, I don't disagree with her, she's a terrible person. Her social stances are trash. She's kind of, stuffed up the average poor person life. Even though many rich people just say that kind of affected them, or the elite kind of say it just affected them. Well, it affected everyone, but especially farmers, blue-collar workers, people that paid nothing. Yeah. Those types of people. You know what I mean, your average teacher, because they have to wear face masks, and I'm sure a lot of teachers in New Zealand would disagree with that mask mandate. The vaccine mandates, just all mandates for jobs to just have thrown in trash, which I obviously agree with, because why would you go to protest if you don't agree with the cause? Okay, make the climate change one at a time if it's that step stool. But, we'll get better out into the protest, so, basically we did cool ads, not 95% of the people had dyed hair like the climate. Okay, that was a joke, but it wasn't a hippie protest, so, you guys are welcome. So, yeah, we went to the protest, we did a lovely Cheerios march to the Parliament. We had, the court thing. We had, loads of very emotional speeches. From people from South Auckland that were broke, and they're just telling how the government really doesn't care about poor people, which, I don't actually disagree with that. Well, most of them are working poor or middle class. I mean, there are probably a few upper class members in their scene, Basically, they're just saying that Brian Thompson shouldn't have been arrested. His wife, who's innocent, shouldn't have had to live his, had all of that into them. Free speech, all of those cool stuff, freedom, all of the good stuff in life. They're also talking about, like friends and family. We're saying that last around from a zillion times, 5 times. Counter protesters, just counter protesters. They're busy saying, all people that support the movement of fascists and some dumb person who's probably some uneducated person from Wellington that only cares about themselves. So an elite, yeah. Some elite person in Wellington who decided to speak on the issue. Yeah. Coolios. So basically after that happened, Brian Thompson got like this judge dude, and they basically said that like we should stay. I obviously did not decide to stand up because I'm not an idiot, and I realized that I'm not the center of the world's attention, unlike a lot of young people that I know that think they're the spark and joy of the universe. I decided to not make a complete dimwit of myself and decided to not do up and just listen. And yeah, basically I just listened to their speeches. Then they played like they also played Michael Jackson music when we went in. No hate against Michael Jackson. He's not like the best musician. He's a bit overrated. It's not Beatles level overrated. Like I would prefer Michael Jackson over the Beatles any day because Beatles fans are just throw off the balcony and all. Okay, just joking. They're just really annoying people to talk to. Beatles fans are just if you know a Beatles fan okay. So out of one, we had like this. So there's this like girl in my old year group. Like my old year group, so the one before Onslow. So Rudolph Steiner, there was this girl who was from Liverpool, who only basically her life revolved around the Beatles and climate change, and she was really annoying, and she kept on saying Oasis was the best band in the world because they had like one good song, so that justifies they're the best band in the world, and if you pretended Beatles, she got like really, really, really pissy, and she had a bit fit, and I didn't really like her for that. Also, like, who likes Liverpool supporters? She was also a Liverpool supporter, so yeah. But basically, they played some really weird rap music. Probably Seth likes the rap music because his music taste is how should I put it? A bit different to most. Yeah. They also played like some other cool music. They actually did play like one rock song. Oh no, they played like 2. Of course they played Metallica because, wow, of course there's a lot of Metallica fans. Yeah. They also played garbage music, also known as Linkin Park. But we weren't talking about Linkin Park part because I was almost dying after that. They also played God forbid it, ABBA, which just about made me want to run into a tree and just keep on running into a tree, like running straight into a tree while you're at the tree, like it wasn't good. And then they just played random weird rap music, national anthem, some interesting freestylists that I don't think I'll try and listen to in my free time. Then they had a bunch of so that was like the first part. Then they did like all of it. I will say that I do not cry often, and I honestly let like 2 tears in that speech for some poor person from South Auckland. I do feel very sad for you guys in South Auckland. Good on you guys. Basically, it was a pretty emotional speech. And then we had like Brian Timothy, who, I mean, sure, I don't love him. He's an okay guy. He's like, okay, he might be like more disliked than liked, but he's a bit like Winston Peters. As in, you either love him, or you are, I want to bash him to the ground as hard as I can. I'm personally in like the 5% of the population which has no opinion, which yes, your eyeballs might be just about falling out that I don't have opinion on something, but yeah, I don't really have, I mean, he's a good guy, I like his movement. It's just, I'm not a Pentecostal, and I'm not in the Destiny Church. Basically, those are the only reasons why I don't like him. But he's a coolish guy. Maybe I'll give him like slight approval, but yeah, he has some wacky beliefs. I'll give him that. Pretty wacky beliefs, some of them. Even too wacky for my standards. But he was basically talking about don't trust in any sort of authority that doesn't stand for the people, like the government, which basically cares way too much about themselves. The Greens, which are even more self-centered than the Labour Party. Then you have National Party, which is slightly less self-centered, which is a flip-flopper. Lutson's a flip-flopper, Lutson's a centrist. David Seymour's a flip-flopper if he actually had more consistent views. Social views, yeah. Basically, that's what they're talking about. They were, like, also talking about, like, how the Brian Timothy was for standing up for people's rights, and yeah, just a bunch of that. And then after that, yeah, they had like another 5 million speeches by a bunch of people who had emotional stories. Then they went back to like the judge court case. Brian Timothy almost, was a bit of a rebel and decided to ask the jury before, the judge was supposed to do it. Like, come on, dude. Do you know what democracy? You stand up for democracy. Okay, I'm not gonna be a neocon. He's still a good guy, and like, he stands for poor people. He's a pretty good guy. Or maybe them like 6 or 7 out of 10. He's just a bit wacky. It's like having a libertarian in the same room, or having like Daniel Wallace. He's a cool guy. He's just a bit wacky. And if you're not like completely, really, really, really uber wacky, he kind of just comes off as, he exists. That is some weird ass beliefs. And he's like, wow, this guy has a really weird ass belief. Now, no offense, Daniel Wallace. At least he's not at least he's not like complete weirdo. Not one. Look, I was just using Daniel Wallace as like a, broad person you should use for people with wacky beliefs. Yeah, basically he has like turbo, really, some really normal beliefs, but some like uber wacky beliefs, like really wacky beliefs. But basically he was also expressing his uber wacky beliefs mixed with his, normal beliefs, which are like all good, like freedom, give pay rises to like nurses, want economy better, be more nationalistic. I mean, there's no narrative about being okay, yeah, the Sinn Féin did that touch, just don't that paramilitary group level nationalistic. But, good job on you guys. And, basically, they were having a nice little talk for, like, 30 minutes. I kind of didn't concentrate for, like... No, actually, it was probably the longest concentration I ever had in a protest. Okay, I'll just say what I did. I'll do like in the climate change one. I was pretending to care about it a lot, but I was really just doing it so I had steps in stool, because, you know, what else was I going to do? Be it stool? Stuff that. I'm going to do what I want to do, that protest. But, yeah, that was basically just me 2 years doing nothing. If the course was actually good or not. Luckily I changed my opinion and, you know, got a bit more consistent. Obviously, yeah, he's basically also saying my Labour had no morals with this kind of wacky stuff mixed with it, like, quite wacky stuff mixed with it. And then after he talked about that wacky stuff, he talked about, you know, why the government was crap to poor people, which okay, I'm not there trying to pay myself, yeah, I agree with. And then they went to other themes. Then they got, like, some other speaker from the Freedom Wise Coalition, who are basically saying why they support the movement. And, yeah. And then they said, you know, don't do stupid things afterwards. Which I think they repeated, like, 1,000 times at least. But, yeah, they did that. And then, yeah, then they sang, like, the national anthem for the 5th millionth time. Then they did, like, the court judge, Brian Tomati, you know, being a bit of a wacky guy and thinking I'm gonna do it, and then he's like, oh wait, I'm not supposed to, oh sorry judge, and then the judge did that, and then they're basically saying you guys are all legends for going out, which, you know, as you know, someone that, I mean, I don't really have a superiority complex, but, you know, it is nice to say that you're like the best person. Obviously, you know, I'm not, and I never will be. But that's nice to know that I'm, like, according to him, slightly better than average, you know, a bit better than average morally, which, you know, is quite cool. But, you know, I'm not going to take it too self-centeredly, because I'm not an ad voter, or a Labour voter, or Green voter, or National voter, which basically only care about themselves. Okay, let's extend National. Yeah, the app party's just Margaret Thatcher 2.0. Yeah, sorry guys, had to say that. Basically they're saying sign a petition to their snap election. Obviously I think Labour doesn't know how to run an economy, or, well, they're basically as confident as Jeremy, no, maybe not quite as confident as Jeremy Corbyn, because Jeremy Corbyn is kind of like, you know, like the really progressive Green Party, like the, not the mainstream Green Party, like the even more, like uber wacky belief Green Party supported. Midst of it, Jacinda Ardern's charismatism, and, you know, yeah, that's Jeremy Corbyn. I mean, they're not quite, but basically they're saying that Jacinda Ardern's a bit of a Fruit Loop, which, pretty true. That she also has limited morals, which I also completely agree with, and saying power to the people about more times than I've heard in my life. And then after that, they just kind of said, don't you, sorry for South Islanders not having any ferry that the government may have intruded on, and I got, had to walk out of the, like, 5,000 person crowd to try and get out, and it was like, ooh, a long time to, like, walk out of the crowd. I was like, seriously, it took like a million years to get out, and then we got out, and then I, like, oh, they also sent our national anthem at the end, because they didn't do enough already. No, okay, I'm not complaining, it was pretty good. I mean, I probably memorized the national anthem the next 5 years. If anyone tells me to memorize the national anthem, I mean, I've got it all down. Yeah. And then, basically they just said, hey guys, we've done us. And then, basically, Hannah Tomati, and they were basically saying how the family matters a lot to them. And then, yeah.